Hey everybody, and welcome back to another ration review. Today I will be reviewing my first Russian ration. Indywidualny ration питания IRP. And this is supposed to be an Emercom ration, though it doesn't explicitly say Emercom anywhere on this bag. So this is an IRP, and it's a 24-hour ration for Emercom use. I'm no expert, but Emercom is like the emergency organization. Now, the reason why I'm starting with this particular, if you hear this, so I think a bag of sugar or tea or something has burst open or broken on the inside, and I figured maybe I might as well just open this before something bad happens. Now, I don't speak Russian, and I'm almost afraid to try to pronounce some of the things here, but the contents are printed on the outside here. One thing that I can say though is that the weight of this is 2 kilos. It contains 4,058 kilocalories, and it's got a best before date of July 12th, 2018. So there's absolutely nothing on the back, nothing on the sides, or the bottom, or the top. The only print is on the front, and it doesn't mention Emercom anywhere. With the risk of spilling something on the flag, because I know it's been leaking on the inside, I'm going to remove the flag when I open this to save me from any embarrassing moments. Now, this one has a tear notch, not at the top end where the carry handle is, but at the bottom. There's a tear notch here, and it seems like there's also a zip lock in here. Let's get this thing open. And as usual, I fail. Good thing there are two edges. Yeah, and I immediately see some particles here. Let's get this out. There you see all that white stuff in the bottom there. I tasted it and it tastes like salt. So I guess I'm down 1 pack of salt. Yeah. So I'll open this box now and see what we've got inside. Right, I don't think anything's actually leaking here. So it's probably all salt. Okay, so I will try to get all the things out from this box and get all the salt off everything. So to start out, it seems like they anticipated somebody would be using the Google Translate app, and they printed stuff on these metal bags, which are basically impossible for the camera to pick up any printed text on, as you can see. I'll just present everything and make some guesses as to what it is, and then we'll see what it is once I open it. First, we have something, which I think is apple. Could be apple jam. Next, there is actually two bags. Concentrat. It's definitely some kind of powder. I'm guessing some kind of drink concentrate. Next up, we have some sauce. Tomato sauce. Next, we've got 4 packs of sugar, sahar. We've got some dry fuel tablets. Isn't there supposed to be a match or something in here? I don't know. This won't be used. Next up, we've got 2 bags of, this looks like tea. We've got 2 bags of coffee, which I have to assume is coffee. I don't think you can see that, but this is actually open. This one is open. This one feels okay though. Still got pressure when I push it. We got some Stimorol chewing gum, grape flavor. Next we've got 2 packets of salt. However, one of them is empty. Surprise, surprise. For some reason there's a small hole here in the end. We've got some perets. I think it's pepper. Aha! Next we have the matches. So apparently these are packed separately from the dry fuel. We've got 4 bags of what I think is some kind of whitener. We have chocolate. We've got 3 spoons. Now we come to the massive portion of biscuits in this. There are 4 packs of these galette something. I guess these are the usual standard crackers. And there are 2 packs of these different crackers. We've got 2 what I think is wet naps. Oh, actually 3, I found a third one. We got a knife, plastic knife. We got some napkins. We got 1 single what I think is a water purification tablet. And there's an interesting little piece of paper here with what I think is the manufacture date of some of the components here. And if Google Translate is working as it should, it says things like plastic knife, spoons, pepper. Most of this is from September 2016. I'm not sure why they would put the production date of the spoons in here. There is also an instruction sheet in this, which has been torn. So you see that this one was probably not packed very gently. Anyway, just checked quickly, and this says like instructions how to eat and eating cold and warm and things like that. I'm not going to pay too much attention to this, maybe read it a bit later. Now the actual cans of food in here. This could actually be some kind of cheese spread. Next up we have another mashed can. This one says ikra. Literally that means caviar, but I know this isn't caviar. It contains carrots and onions and things, so this is some kind of vegetable paste. I don't know what this is either. This says farsh, maybe luncheon meat or pate or something. And one of the 3 main entrees, goviadina tushenaya. This picture here sure says something about the contents, and it looks like it's mainly beef, maybe with some red bell peppers or something. The next entree is called kasha risovaya, so it could be rice with some pieces of beef and a little bit of vegetables in there. The third entree, it's miaso fasolo. I don't know what I'm saying. I have no idea. But looking at the picture again, it's obviously some kind of what looks like beef pieces with vegetables. So there you have it. That is the entire contents of the Emercom ration. The plan now is to prepare some kind of dinner, and we'll take it from there. Okay, it looks like I finally managed to decide what I'm gonna call dinner. I'll start by heating these up in boiling water. Wish me luck. Okay, let's see what we can do here. I'm going to place this. And I will start by making this concentrate. It says somewhere down here to mix it with 200 milliliters of, I think it says cold water, maybe it says hot or cold water, I don't know. I've got 200 mils of cold water. Oh wait, before I do this, I'm actually going to use one of these. Why is it stuck? Wet nap was stuck in the package. Absolutely no smell whatsoever. It might actually be just water. No, there's got to be something more in this. I have no idea what it would be though, because it has no smell whatsoever. Yeah, now, no tear notch, scissor time. So this was interesting. There is a very pink sugar-like powder in there. See that? That just looks like sugar crystals with some color additive. You gotta see this from the side before I mix it. I think that's all sugar down there. I guess that's what's in this drink. So obviously this needs to be stirred. It has a very fruity smell, like maybe raspberry or strawberry, I'm not sure. I'm gonna give it a taste right now. It tastes like kind of like a strawberry bubblegum or something, really candy-like. Oh wow, Yeah, of course it was very sweet, but it was also very good. This was definitely strawberry. It was just like a strawberry juice. Yes, strawberry juice with a lot of sugar. I could drink all of this right now. Oh, yeah, this was some really good stuff. Now, this galette. So you can see it's got some kind of flaky texture, has a very neutral smell. Not very hard at all, I'd say about as the MRE crackers actually. Feel very dry and crispy. So I'll give these two pieces a taste. They didn't taste like much at all. No, I think these are just plain wheat biscuits with no flavoring whatsoever. By themselves, these are actually kind of boring, and I don't think they're meant to be eaten like this. However, there's another pack of biscuits here. Wheat biscuits, or wheat crackers, I think. Yeah, these smell a bit darker, like more like whole grain. Same kind of fragile, dry texture. We'll see what they taste like. Yeah, these actually feel even drier. The flavor, it feels like there's more than wheat. I don't know, barley or rye or something. I have no idea. But there's definitely something that gives them a heavier flavor. More to the cardboard flavor direction, you know? Take a wheat biscuit and move towards cardboard. And that's what this tastes like. I just gotta add some water to this. I'll save this for a few valuable sips. So, some regular tap water. Let's open this Oficerski. I can't quite make out how many percent cocoa this contains, but first ingredient seems to be sugar. Next is cacao tertoe. Looks dark and nice. Now the only things I have left to do are maybe to put some water on for the coffee and tea. So I'll do that, and while I'm out in the kitchen I'll get the mains. There, I've got these heated up now, the kasha, and well, I can't read the label. I'm not sure if I'll be able to open them without spilling everything though. I'll just use a knife. Very strong smell of beef coming out. Look at that. So here we have something that looks like real pieces of beef, and this is most likely swimming in a lot of fat. Yep, definitely some rice with onion in there. Let's see what this is like. Do you see that? Do you see that? Just a massive chunk of meat. Okay, it fell apart. I feel I can just push the spoon through the meat here and it just falls right apart. This is super tender. Some onion here. It smells really amazing. You gotta see this. See that? That's just a big, nice piece of beef. I gotta taste this now, right away. Oh wow. That meat, it's so tender it just melts in your mouth. Really, you don't need teeth to chew this. I'm not cutting it, I'm just squeezing it and it just separates. That's how tender this is. It just, wow, that was really nice, but I think this is all mostly fat. The flavor is really just like pure beef. The inside of your mouth gets really greasy when you take one bite from this. Not a lot of spices at all, just maybe just a little bit of onion in there. Now let's check out this kasha. Lots of rice. The plan was to use the rice together with the beef because I like to, you know, have it like a whole meal. And I guess that's some meat pieces. I don't know, it smells mostly of rice actually. I'm gonna try out some of this rice. Oh, That was also super soft. It's not like eating rice at all. Actually, I'm not even sure it's rice anymore. Or it's been boiling or cooking for so long that it just turns into mush as soon as you get it in your mouth and you start to squish it with your tongue against the roof of your mouth, and it'll turn into very like a smooth paste. This is also super fat. It's like if you go to some restaurants and they can just take a bottle of sesame oil and just pour it all over. So everything you touch has this coating of fat and oil. Very conservative with the seasoning and the spices. The consistency of this is more like, it's closer to porridge than actual boiled rice. And the flavor is, it just feels like it's rice flavored with beef fat. Nice little tube here. I guess this is some big fat vein or something. It all tastes the same. This here and the meat here, the beef. I gotta go get the water for the tea and the coffee. There, so I've got 2 cups of hot water. First, let's check out this coffee to see if it's still good. Completely unreadable. Looks fine when I look down in the bag. Worst case, they've lost some flavor. And here's the tea. Maiski something. And it's a tea bag. Smells like black tea, basically. Oh, I gotta stir the coffee. Let's see about using the biscuit in this fat. See what this is like. I don't know. It still mostly tastes just like fat, you know. I think I'm gonna use some pepper on this. Looks like ground black pepper to me. Put some on here as well. So, see how much that helps. Change the flavor into something more than just meat. Oh, bay leaf. Let's see. Yeah, didn't do much. And this, I don't know. I think I can put all of it on there and still not notice. Kasha with black pepper. Well, a little bit maybe. I'm not sure I should be adding salt to this. It tastes like there's salt in it already. I mean, enough salt. So yeah, I'll just finish this and get back to you when it's time for the chocolate and the coffee and the tea. Oh my! So I finished this. Well, there are some small pieces here swimming in fat still, but this is like half a kilo of food. And then adding to the fact that it's basically swimming and saturated in fat gives you a kind of an unpleasant feeling in a way. But I don't want to drag this down too low on the, you know, the grading scale, but if this hadn't been that fat, it would have been extraordinarily delicious. Right now it's you feel like everything is just greasy and fatty everywhere. It's really good, and it feels definitely like you're eating a proper meal with real pieces of very tender meat. So I thought, well, I know this is going to have some fat, so maybe I can pour some on top of the rice. But this, it felt like it already had a whole can of this just dumped in there. So this has enough fat for you, and this is just a bonus, so to speak. What I have left now is this tea, which, yeah, I took the bag out a few minutes ago. Here's the tea, no sugar, no whitener. Yeah, that's a good black tea. And now I'm going to try the coffee, Russian coffee, that has been in a slightly open bag. Yeah, that tastes like instant coffee. Maybe a little bit smoother than the ones with the worst of that burnt flavor. I gotta try the chocolate now. And yeah, I'll just have a bite because it melts. Yeah, just chocolate. It almost tasted like there was some kind of nut flavor going on in there as well, but I don't think there is. I'm probably just being confused by all this. I already talked about this beef and the rice. Yeah, and the tea, like black tea. Coffee, like instant coffee. The biscuits, very uninteresting and uninspiring. No flavor at all. This one had a bit more darker flavor, but otherwise, same type of biscuits. The real winner was the strawberry drink. This was amazing. And I was also surprised by the flavor from this beef. I shouldn't say it was bad, but way too fatty. Overall, what can I say? Very heavy, greasy meat, and this fantastic strawberry drink. It will be an interesting breakfast tomorrow, so I'll see you then. Oh, and I forgot. The Stimorol chewing gum. I'll take 2 straight away. Whoa, that smells like... if you've smelled Indian incense, really. So they didn't taste like incense, obviously, but they're supposed to be grapes. But if I didn't know it was grape, I would guess this is cherry. This is more of an artificial cherry flavor than grape flavor. But it's weird, because it's got this minty, feels like fresh, but the flavor you feel on your tongue is grape cherry flavor. Funny. Interesting. Okay, see you tomorrow. Good morning and welcome to the breakfast portion. There we go. There were only 2 beverage mixes in this ration, so I had the first one yesterday and I'm saving the other one for lunch later, so I will have to settle with drinking water. Which is fine, but as far as ration reviewing goes, maybe it's a bit boring. And of course I've got coffee on its way as well. But first off, let's get these biscuits back out on the tray, or what's left of them. And again, I have more packs of these in the ration if I should run out and feel that I need some more. Actually, this wet nap, it had no smell at all. But when you read the contents here on the back, I think this means that there is a 0.5% water dissolved, or what should I say? This is chlor, so this is some chlorine solution, 0.5% chlorine solution in water, I guess. So I'll use it to clean the spoon and knife. Not stuck in the bottom this time. There's actually a little bit of smell, but it's not of chlorine as you'd imagine it, like you know, a swimming pool or something. Give the hands a bit of a clean as well. There. Now, I'm curious about this fars. There's a Swedish word, fars, which is spelled similarly to how you would pronounce it, and that's like a minced meat. So this might be some kind of ground meat. That's why I'm guessing it's a luncheon. So let's open it and see what it actually is. That sure looks like some luncheon meat, and it smells just like it. I think this is suitable for breakfast. And the other one, which I guess is the cheese spread, which I can't really motivate my guess with by more than some of the translations when running the Google Translate app. On the ingredients down here mentioned cheese and some other dairy products words that I can't recall exactly, but I'm pretty sure this is a cheese. But let's find out. Sure looks like it. Yeah, that smells of cream cheese. Kind of mild smelling. Yeah, I think this will be good with the crackers as well. And the last thing before I get the coffee, this apple puree. Now this symbol here, whatever it is, an apple or tomato or both, I don't think that has anything to do with the actual contents. That's just, a symbol is everywhere in the components in this ration. So that's maybe just an indicator that this is food, or maybe it's the logo of the producer or something, I'm not sure. But unless Google Translate is lying to me, this says mashed apples, sugar, and ascorbic acid or something like that. Oh. Some dark jam-like substance here. Yeah, it looks like oxidized apples, brown kind of. So I'll start by tasting this. Yeah, it's definitely apple and definitely a lot of sugar in it. Wow, I'm not sure if there's more sugar or apple in it, but the ingredients list apples first, which I assume means there's more apple than sugar. Very, very sweet. Not a lot of apple flavor, but, well, definitely apple, but not that overwhelming, intense, acidic apple flavor. Just sugary apple flavor. Now it's time to taste this cheese. Very soft. This is definitely spreadable. So I'll just taste this to see what it's like. Yeah, like a nice, mild, typical cheese bread flavor. Not completely super mild like any fresh, completely white cheese, but a little bit of sour cheese, but just very little. This will be good with the crackers. And I'm curious about this. So yeah, this is not gonna spread that well. You might be able to, but considering the crackers are really brittle, I think they're just gonna crumble. Better to use the knife for this, I think. And inside there you see some white lumps. I'm guessing that's fat or something from the meat. Let's taste it. Yeah, tastes like a luncheon meat spam type of, not dense or compact at all. I guess that just means that it's been ground very, very finely. Basically, it tastes like any other luncheon meat. No spices or anything, just mild, nice luncheon meat. And now to test this apple jam, try it out on one of the crackers here. Cracker with jam. That was such an improvement. This combination was actually really good. Let's try it out with the other cracker as well. Apple jam with the darker biscuit, or cracker, or whatever. No, the darker and heavier flavor of these doesn't really go well with the sweetness of this jam. This is very good with the light crackers, so I'll save it for those. It might be good with the cheese. Dark cracker with cheese bread. That was pretty good actually. Let's see about the light crackers. Definitely okay as well. I say this cheese is pretty good with either of these two. Now for the luncheon meat. Luncheon meat on light biscuit. It tasted mostly of luncheon meat actually. These biscuits don't have a lot of flavor, so the richer luncheon meat flavor took over everything here, and it basically felt like luncheon meat with some crunchy bits. So let's try the darker crackers. Luncheon meat on dark cracker. Yeah, that worked pretty well as well. Both of these are equally good with both of the crackers. It's just this apple jam that I think is only good with the light crackers. Now I gotta go get the coffee. Here. So here's some boiled water. And here's the last and second bag of coffee. Little tier notch. Some hot Russian coffee. A bit too hot for me actually. I think I gotta let this cool down for a couple of minutes. So I'll enjoy this while I wait for the coffee to cool down. And the cats are going insane. Let's see if the coffee is cooled down. Still quite hot, but it's kind of nice actually. Maybe I used a little bit too little water yesterday. So this will be a good breakfast. Now I'm going to feast on this and I'll be back when I'm done. Yeah, that was a solid breakfast. This was like a lunch. These crackers, like I said before, I was initially disappointed with them yesterday because they didn't taste of anything really other than wheat if you had good imagination, and a hint of cardboard in the dark ones. But together with these three items, Or at least this apple jam. It went really well with the light crackers. This cheese, rather mild cheese spread, fit with both the dark and the light crackers. The luncheon meat, in general, it tasted just like any other luncheon meat or spam, and also worked really well with both of the crackers. And the coffee, for some reason I like it better today than I did yesterday. Maybe because the one yesterday had been opened for a while. This one was actually pretty good. Still a bit of burnt overtones, not as much as the one I had yesterday. The one yesterday was okay, but this one is better. And considering the amount I ate, I think it will be some time before I go for the lunch portion of this ration. But I'll see you then. Alright, it's time for the last meal from this ration. I'm gonna get this heated up by putting it in boiling water, get the tray out and get everything laid out. Right, so let's get started. Again, as last time, I will begin with mixing this drink. Seems to be the same pink magic sugar. Oh, before I stir it, I gotta clean my spoon. These spoons are not very comfortable. I mean, they're not very pleasant to hold because the way they've been molded is, it feels like a blade almost. It just feels like I'm about to cut myself when I grab it. Now to stir this. Well, I'll let that sit for a while and then hopefully it will dissolve the rest of the sugar. It's still like half a centimeter layer of sugar at the bottom. So what else do we have here? We have these dark crackers. There we go. And we have the light ones. We have this ikra. Google Translate will most likely fool you when you try to translate ikra because it'll say caviar. There is no caviar in this, just vegetables as far as I know. Yep. It smells like tomatoes and bell peppers. There's something spicy in here as well. It smells a little bit like the sauce in chili con carne. It's very soft. It's just like a mash, like a puree of vegetables. So obviously no caviar, but I just gotta try it like this first, and then I'll try it with the crackers. Okay, there's gotta be carrots in here, and maybe it doesn't taste like tomato at all. It tastes like aubergines, yeah, something like that, and a bit of oil, but it doesn't really add much. Still quite a light flavor, refreshing. Maybe there's no aubergine here. I should check the ingredients, but it tastes like as if there was. Okay, so after struggling with Google Translate for a while, it seems that this contains carrots, onions, beets, and tomatoes, and maybe a living room as well, if I'm to trust Google Translate, but I don't think so. If by any chance any Swedish person is watching this, it has a slight resemblance to rotmos, and I guess that's from the beets. So let's see if it's good with the cracker. Not overly exciting, very boring taste combination. Bland wheat cracker with carrots. Let's try the dark one. Whoops. It's the same here. These flavors, they don't mix very well with this ikra. Maybe it's better just to eat it as it is, as a side to the main entree. Curious about this sauce tomatni. Sauce? Sauce. Sorry. Tomato sauce. It's not very much. There, just show it to you real quick. It's really not a lot. It's just a little gathered down in the corner here. Maybe this should be added as some kind of flavoring or seasoning. I don't think I'm supposed to use this on bread. It's way, way too little. Oh, yeah, I think this is like a concentrated puree you should use in the food, not eat it bare like this. Very acidic flavor, tastes like concentrated puree. I'll save this and maybe add it to the entree. Speaking of which, it should be done now, so I'll go get that. Like that. It smells greasy, so I suspect this will be similar to what I had yesterday, at least in terms of fat. There we go. I see white beans, obviously beef as well, some carrots, and lots of fat. Some onion. Check that out. Looks good. It smells kind of heavy. Still steaming a bit from being in boiling water. I'm not sure I should use boiling water actually, just hot water, but yeah. Time for a taste. First thing that strikes me is that it's extremely oily and fatty, again, like the other entree. There's actually not that much meat in this. If there is, it's distributed fairly evenly. Biggest flavor I can taste after the oil has dissipated is white beans. You can taste there's some onion and something else in there. Really, the two main flavors that I can taste is white beans in beef fat. So it's kind of it's a pleasant fat, but it's still fat. The beans are very soft. They're not like the rice that was just turning into mash as soon as I touched them, but they offer a little bit of resistance, but you know, they're very, very soft. Let's see if I can stir this around a bit more now. I'm gonna pour some more water into this because it's so sweet. The sugar still has problem dissolving, so this is probably a very sugary solution. Now, finally, I'm gonna taste this again with slightly more water this time. Yeah, that's just as good, maybe even better. It's more refreshing this way. So, I'm curious about this tomato puree. So I put some here. See if this makes it any more interesting. Hardly noticeable. I'll just put that in there. Can't do much more with it than this. Yeah, I'm happy I saved the ikra for this because I mean, I had the rice for the other entree, and even if that was an entree by itself, it was still good to use with the meat because that was only meat. But this one that has the beans and some meat in it, it still feels a bit too fatty, and though there is oil in this, it still feels like it kind of freshens it up a little bit, makes it a bit lighter. But yeah, I'll finish this and get back to you when I'm done. Now here's the hot water for the tea. And it's the same black tea that I had yesterday. The only thing I have left now is chocolate and this tea, which is the same as I had yesterday. So I'm not gonna bore you with the details about that. I'm just gonna finish this by saying that this main entree, if you ignore the fact that there is too much fat in it, then it's really good. And it's basically like a homemade meal. So I have to say that I like it, but it's probably not good for me, if I can put it that way. And this ikra is basically if you take carrots and beets and some, you know, common root vegetables and you mash them together. That gives it a very specific flavor, and this is what this tastes like. The crackers, they really didn't have any good use in this meal. Yeah, actually the biggest disappointment overall in this entire ration is the crackers. So all in all, I think that this Emercom ration is basically just 3 types of fatty entrees with beef and maybe some vegetable. The best meal I had, I have to say, was actually breakfast, I think. Still, this was it was a good ration for me. I liked it very much. And I'm curious to see if other Russian rations have the same kind of just beef and fat with almost no seasoning. So yeah, with that said, I'm just gonna enjoy the chocolate and the tea, and I will see you again when it's time for the next review. Bye bye!